What's up, guys? It is your boy Thriller here, and we are here for the final week, week 10, taking on Cobalt, who happened to be the 10th seed. Coach, just saying, week 10, first in the 10th seed, just saying. Anyways, if you guys are excited for this week, leave a like if you haven't already, subscribe if you're new, join the crew today because you'll be thrilling with the king of the crew. And with that being said, let's break down this matchup. Now, this matchup does not matter. Both Cobalt and I have guaranteed made the playoffs based on how all the other games have gone. This one only matters in terms of seeding. If Cobalt wins this game, he will actually advance to the third seed. And if he loses, he actually will drop to the sixth seed. If I win this game, I will be moved into the fifth seed. But if I lose this game, I believe I will drop to either the sixth or seventh seed. I think, depending on how it's looking, I think seven. So based on the other confirmed games, my potential playoff opponents could actually be a potential chance to have be against Cobalt in a rematch, or I most likely will be facing potentially Tanner or Brody, both who I've lost to in the regular season. Tanner could have beaten, probably should have beaten, but I didn't play smart. Brody, he just came down to some really good prep, and that's just what happened there. So again, a lot of possibilities here in terms of rematches, but we need to focus on Cobalt this week. And his team is quite the team. He has got the Mega Venusaur from Gen 1, Crobat from Gen 2, Claydol Gen 3, Darkrai Gen 4, Alamola Gen 5, Diancie Gen 6, Melmetal from Gen 7, Dragapult from Gen 8, and Iron Valiant from Gen 9. Looking at his team, his Mega Venusaur is going to be actually something that is not as threatening versus my team, but I think based on the team I have and based on how the structure of this my team works, Cobalt might be forced to bring this Venusaur, even though it might not have the best. Excuse me, not have the best matchup per se into my team, but I think he might be forced to bring it. Crobat, I think he's absolutely forced to bring because he's a great revenge killer into my Mega Gallade. It's also really fast to where things are like my Thunderous are weakened down, it can go in for a surprise KO and knock me out. It's definitely something that could be a taunt bot versus my team, like shutting down like my Porygon from trying to set up like Toxics or covers and stuff like that. Claydol definitely not showing up. Claydol's really not good in this matchup. Darkrai is a massive threat as it does outspeed everything on my team outside of Deoxys. But obviously, there's potential for a potential Sucker Punch variant of Darkrai, which I could definitely see here, or a potential Scarf Darkrai, which could definitely put me in the rough end here. And I could even see a potential option for Chople if he wants to be able to take one fighting type move from Deoxys in order to revenge it and knock it out. Alomola definitely think makes a showing here. It's a really fat, annoying water type Pokemon that can be really annoying for my team to deal, especially with the Mirror Code. But this is primarily going to be the Rocky Helmet answer he needs for Dracovish, because outside of Venusaur, in fact, really not even outside of anything, he really doesn't have much of a Dracovish switch in outside of like a booster speed Valiant and also a Scarf Dragapult per se. Outside of that, he really has not much for it. Melmetal, definitely think Melmetal has some potential to show up here. I don't really think it's going to come, but I wouldn't be too surprised if it did show up. I just personally feel like I can handle Melmetal a little bit more because, like, either my team here, I've got Nidoking, I got Strong Jaw, Vicious Wrens, Dracovish, they can actually just almost OHKO it under right situations. If my Deoxys gets set up, I can OHKO with a fighting move. It's unless it's Shoppleberry, of course. Mega Glade checks in, Nidoking checks in. Thunderous to an extent checks it. Like this is a really strong Pokemon into that mon. But like I said though, Memelo could still be a really good thing here as a good coverage across my team. It's also something that can definitely be able to take advantage of things like Meowscarada, Forges, P2 to an extent as well, even Deoxys. So definitely something to note there. Dragon Ball guarantee shows up here. It outspeeds my entirety of my team. And there's definitely a couple of ways he can run this poll this week in terms of what he wants. There is even a potential that he might be fearing a potential like Scarfer on my team that he might even go Choice Scarf with this thing. Just to guarantee have that speed control. And then Iron Valiant is either going to be something that's clicking choice specs, choice band hits, make it be life orb, or if anything, what I probably expect is a life orb is a booster speed variant. I could also even see booster attack or booster special attack to take advantage of priority with backing wave potentially as well. But overall, this is going to be a very terrifying team. And I kind of cooked a little bit for the prep this week. So let's go ahead and take a look at that prep real quick. And we're kicked off here with our Mega Glade and Mega Shadow, and we're running a very interesting set this week. We are running a fully kind of bulky offensive Glade this week. We are running Agilities and Headbutt, Drain Punch, and Triple Axle. This set is incredibly risky into my opponent's team, as it's very much so. If I don't get the agility off, I can't outspeed a lot of things, and I realistically can't win a good amount of the matchups. With the agility, I am faster than Booster Speed Valiant. I did do the calcs. I am faster with it with this spread based on what I think it has to hit versus me. However, if it is scarf pull, and depending on what the scarf pull reaches at, I can't outspeed it. Like if it's max speed, max special attack, like a max special attack modest one, I actually still can't outspeed that even with the agility of if it's choice scarf. So if it's Scarf Pole, we could be in a little bit of a problem. But this set overall, it checks every box, man. Zen Headbutt plus Drain Punch and Triple Axle literally hit the entirety of this team for super effective to neutral damage. The majority of being super effective offensive damage here. So definitely going to be something to note there. But overall, I think the late here is really good. We're going max attack to hit insanely hard this game. We're running a lot of bulk on this guy. Probably a little too much more bulk. Probably should have made some special bulk potentially. But I've taken the gamble here and the rest in speed for that against Speed Blossom. We're actually bringing back Florges, and I know what you're thinking to yourself. Oh, that's the wrong thing. But basically, there's two poison types and a steel type that shut this Pokemon down. Why in the hell am I still bringing it? Well, it's still a decently good mod in the matchup. Florges actually has a lot of more good utility in this matchup with Calm Mind, Aromatherapy. Aromatherapy to get rid of any potential status on our team. That could be a little bit of an issue. But also Calm Mind, Draining Kiss plus Psychic actually lets us put in a lot of overtime in this matchup. If the Venusaur is weak and it's not running any speed, with the speed investment I do have, I guarantee will outspeed the Venusaur and any other bulky threat he has. So if I get one Calm Mind up and that Venusaur has been chipped, I can knock that Venusaur out with a Psychic from this Florges and do lots of great damage. We are running max special HP, a good chunk in defense, and the rest in special attack. I actually wanted this Florges to be a little offensive while still taking a bit of hits here and there. But overall, I think Florges can do a lot of good work in this matchup, and I actually think it can really help us out here if as long as we get weaken some stuff down and position it correctly. We're running the Cobra Berry Deoxys 51 here for Area 51. We have running no speed, no bulk besides max HP. We're running max special attack and HP. I really am gonna kick myself if that Deoxys, if that Dragon is scarfed, because I mean, even then, I don't think I can even outspeed Scarf Bolt, even if I was gonna try to speed creep it if I could, maybe. Who knows? But regardless, Deoxys speed here can put in a lot of good damage. We have the Cola Berry just in case of again if it's surprise Shuck up. Oh my god. Sucker Punch from the Darkrai, or even potentially a Choice Scarf Darkrai with Dark Pulse. We got a nasty pull it off. We are going to have to bank on Focus Miss to kill it. Otherwise, Psychic plus Thunderbolt really pressures my opponent offensively, and I actually think it's going to put us in a really good offensive standing. This mon can definitely be a late game cleaner, and it can do a lot of damage if we get it in the right position. I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. I didn't know what I wanted with the Celesteela. I kept thinking of so many different variants of what I wanted. But I ended up going with this weird, bulky, somewhat like kind of offense, but it's more of like a bulky, kind of stally Pokemon. We're running defensive Selly this week with Sub, Leech Seed, Air Slash, and Flamethrower. Sub is basically there to kind of be able to bait something in and get a Leech Seed off. And then Air Slash plus Flamethrower literally hits the entirety of the team for super effective to neutral damage. Like, this thing 1v1s a lot of Pokemon on my opponent's team, and I can be able to pretty much just sit there excuse me, for as long as I want. Sorry when yawning. I had a really big dinner and it's really starting to make me feel tired and I need to record this video before I go to sleep. We're running max HP, again, spreading out the defenses and then having the speed to make sure we're faster than Mega Venusaur. I could have ran a lot of speed and then done that, but I figured that going with a bulky spread like this would have made a lot more sense here. Up next, we're running Thundurus, and I'm going to be honest, you guys. When I went to the battle with this, as you can tell, this could be a post con, by the way. When I went to the battle of this, I was very hesitant on this item. And I think overall, based on how this game went, I made the wrong decision with this item. So the reason why I was Lumberry is I feared potential sleep powder that could have happened from the Venusaur. There definitely could have been a very realistic, there we go, situation where that Venusaur could have had sleep powder and it could have sleep powdered me and then been able to knock me out or chip me down or force a switch out potentially. So I ended up going with the big risk of doing this instead with having the Lumberry so I cannot be put to sleep. Obviously, Lumberry also plays double-edged sword as it doesn't really help me in a lot of situations. But with dual dance here, with Thunderbolt plus Psychic, we hit everything for super effective neutral damage. And again, if I get a nasty plot or an agility off, we're looking real good here. With the speed, we outspeed pretty much the majority of everything. I think depending on the Dragapult speed investment, we could even outspeed that if it's Choice Scarf potentially. But Thunderpurple Psychic literally is going to push our lives. We're max special attack, modest to hit insanely hard this game, and do a lot of work here. And last but not least, we're rocking out with Bobble the Porygon 2. More physically defensive, while still having a good amount of special defensive bulk with sub recover, tri attack, and shadow ball with the download ability. Now, I kind of looked at this my opponent's team, and outside of the Dragapult and the Melmetal, my opponent does not have a normal type switch in, and I figured, you know what, Porygon 2 could actually put in a lot of great offensive prowess here if we get a special attack raise based off its base 105 special attack stat. So, felt like it could do a lot of good work in this matchup, and again, if we get some cheeky paras, burns, statuses, potentially of some sorts, I think that could put us in a really good position. But I'm gonna go ahead and get connected with Cobalt, and I'll see you guys for the battle. And we're here for the battle, and Cobalt pretty much brought everything I expected, except he did bring Melmetal over the Alamola, and a bit of a fourth wall breaking here. Me and Cobalt actually had to extend this game to today, which is the May 11th, breaking the fourth wall even harder for you guys, which is on Monday. We were granted, because this was the final week of the season, the regular season before playoffs, and um, Stormy and Nix, Storm and Nixie, which great mods, fantastic mods. Recommend joining leagues if they're the mods of them and the commissioners of. Um, Graciously gave us an opportunity to play pretty much within a 1 to 2 day time span, which thankfully we did. And again, very appreciative that they were willing to do that. Obviously, I mean, I would have felt bad taking a win and potentially ruining the placement that Cobalt could have gotten here. But luckily, we were able to play this game and we can do what we did. But yeah, like I said, he brought everything expected. He did bring the Melmetal, which I was a little concerned with, but I also understand why you still you bring Melmetal because of its its bulk, utility aspect, and stuff. But I'm going to go ahead and lead off with my Celesteela here, as he is going to lead off with the Darkrai here. I decided to go for Air Slash, predicting a potential swap out here. But he actually reveals to be Calm Mind Dark right here and goes for the Will-O-Wisp. So that tells me that potentially he might be Willow Hex. He could just be a bulky support Darkrai with Calm Mind. I'm going to go right into my PT here, expecting him to want to try to go out and swap out potentially. But no, he just goes for a second Calm Mind here. I'm actually just going to go ahead and swap back into my floor just now. Basically forced him out here and stuff like that. So I'm going to go ahead and just click the aromatherapy here. No reason not to. And thankfully, get the Stern status cleared off my team, which is really good. And now he brings the Melmetal in. I'm going to go ahead and swap out right into my Celestial. This is literally a designated check for it. But we now see a Thunder Wave, which was very interesting that my opponent would go for Thunder Wave, but it obviously makes sense. I was going to swap out. We thankfully get the Leech Seed off here, and now I'm just going to go for another Air Slash here. There's literally no reason to. And the Darkrai does reveal to have Hex here, which is actually really interesting that he would bring Hex on his Darkrai here when that's not really stab. But anyways, he's gonna bring in the Metal here. We actually did decent damage to him, which is actually really good here. He's gonna go for the Thunder Punch. We thankfully chew, and thankfully we land the Leech Seed, which is really huge for us as well. And right here, I'm thinking of just going for the Flamethrower here, as I am gonna get paralyzed, so we don't know. Right here, I'm just gonna go for another Leech Seed here. No reason not to. And we do connect with the Leech Seed, which is really huge for us here. Now, I do guarantee live another Hex at the slut range, but I don't want to risk it. So I'm going to go right into Bobble here. As he is going to go for the Hex, I do get the special attack race from the download here. And I'm just going to go for sub. There is literally nothing stopping me from clicking sub here. But now I'm going to go for that tri attack. I have the boost special attack. My sub does not break, which is thankful here. And we're going to get a big crit on the Mega Venusaur here, which is really huge here. I go for another tri attack here, as there was no reason not to. Here then, I just go ahead and click Shadow Ball, as there was no drawback to clicking Shadow Ball. And we're going to see we do a lot of damage to this Crobat here. And we're actually going to see the Infiltrator Crobat, which I actually did not pay attention to in for a split second there. Thankfully, does not get another flinch or a crit or a poison here. And we get rid of the Crobat, which was the main one of the main two big threats to our boy Mega Glade here. And thankfully, Bobble, just being the goat that he is, lives the hit here. Now, here I was debating potentially going for Shuttleball over the Recover here. I ended up going for Shuttleball, predicting the Pole to want to come in here. We do get a special attack drop, which is really huge. Actually, put it into a potential roll to knock out the Melmetal here. I decided to go for a Recover here over that as he uses Iron Bash here again. I do click Recover again here as he unfortunately goes for the Thunder Wave and does connect with that Thunder Wave here. Now I'm basically forced to kind of just have to go on the offense here, and I get paralyzed. And now he goes for another double Iron Bash, and of course I get flinched then. And then basically Bopple got in, and as you can see right here, I get a little tilted right here, especially after this play, which I could kind of see his logic why he made this play, but at the same time, if you lose this, you're losing what's arguably your truly best answer to Florges. Then, granted, Mega Venusaur is a thing here, but I've got two flying types that have coverage for you. I have two psychic types. There is legitimately no reason for you to say get rid of this Melmetal when it can basically put a stop to my Florges. But unfortunately, he hit Thunder Waves here, and I don't get a chance to go for another agility as I can't knock him out here. And as much as I wanted to go for the triple axle, I had to click Drain Punch as that was my smart play. And unfortunately, I now lose out on my Mega Gallade, which didn't do anything here. Now, I was debating on potentially clicking Calm Mind here, but I doubled out into my Thunderous here, as I'm going to go for the Agility here, as he's actually going to reveal to have the Ice Punch, which is really bad. Thankfully, don't get frozen. I go for the Thunderbolt. Thankfully, get the roll, even though I think the roll was heavily in my favor to kill. I go for a Psychic, and unfortunately do not kill it, but he actually goes for the Synthesis here, basically putting him back in the exact same position. But this time, we get a max roll, or a good, basically a roll that was heavily in my favor. And he goes for Scald right here, which knocks me out, which confirms that he is Scarf pulled. And right here, I'm just going to go for the Draining Kiss here on this Dragable here. And right here, I'm just going to go ahead and click myself some Calm Mind here. Literally no wanting to over predict this. So I just click it again, and now I just click Draining Kiss here again. Thankfully, out of 3 Skull Burn chances, I do not get burned, which is huge for us. In comes the Darkrai now, which is going to try to go for the poison here. So he's going to reveal Sludge Bomb to be his last move. Does unfortunately get the poison, but we are able to knock out the Darkrai. Crit did not matter. And now all that's left is Iron Valiant plus my 2 Pokemon left in the back. I'm pretty much have this game unlocked, but it's definitely not over until it's over. He's going to Spirit Break me here, which is going to do a lot of damage to us here. We're going to get a Drain Kiss off here, and they basically have the game won. There's nothing my opponent can do now to win the game here unless he was going to go for Drain Punch, and probably Drain Punch got Mega Ultra Crits here. But he's going to go down, and we're going to be able to pick up the W and pick up a 3-0 win, and we are going ahead and secure ourselves the 5th seed, which is really huge. Like, if you really think about these first 5 weeks, we went 2-3. Really bad start for us. But in these last 5 weeks, we went 4-1, which is really huge for us. So we end up with the 5th seed with the 6-4 record with a positive differential. So we at least end the season. We'll end the season before the playoffs with a positive note. And of course, as I stated earlier in the video, we are now know who our opponent will be. We are going to be taking on Brody in our, I believe it was a week 2 rematch because I think we played week 2. I think I know exactly what I want to do against Brody in this rematch here, but I know Brody is definitely going to be more prepared for me this time around for this rematch. So definitely not going to be an easy matchup whatsoever. But I'm definitely looking forward to this matchup against Brody, and hopefully we can have another good matchup here. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy this matchup, also before I forget, GD's to Cobalt. Obviously, he had a lot of things going on. He was actually helping out his girlfriend for the past week, and also today he was having a lot of stuff to do. Also, trying to prep a team to play me before the deadline of the schedule, the deadline of the game was going to be. So, shouts to Cobalt for doing everything he can to get the game done here. He probably didn't want to bring his best stuff, which makes a lot of sense. I think I can definitely change up some stuff in the future game here, but I don't know. This was still a bit of a tough matchup here for me. Overall, though, this was a great game, and I hope you guys did enjoy. If you guys did, again, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe. And with that, we will see you guys for playoffs. We will be taking on Brody in the quarterfinals. Can we keep going? Can this win streak continue? We'll have to find out. But we'll find out next week. I'll see you guys then. Peace.